So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to education.weebly.com. The first thing you're going to need to do is this get started now. You're going to need to choose a username. You might just want to use your first and last name with no spaces, a password, and an email. Please just use your Bullis email, and you might just want to use your same password that you use for all your Bullis stuff so that you don't forget it. Once you finish that, accept the terms of service and sign up. Once you're in, you will be welcomed. So go ahead and just fill this information out. You can just put your school name here. You do not need to put your school district, and then select your country. You'll have to select your state also. And once you're done with that, press submit. The next thing you're going to do is just go ahead and create a website. We are going to create a site. And then just choose the theme. You can change this theme in the future, so don't worry too much about it. I'm going to just use this first one right here. After that, you're going to want to use the first option here. This is going to be your site's name, so it might just be your first last name .weebly.com. The next thing is you get started by just dragging an element onto your page. So it's really easy to set things up. If I want to add a title, I just literally drag it in like that, and then you'll see that I can click here to edit my title. I might want to add some text to my page, so you just drag it in like that, and you can edit the text. As soon as you start putting text in, you can change things such as change the color of your text. You can create a link. If you want to create a link to a web page or something like that, you can bold, italicize, underline. You can make your text bigger and smaller just like this. You can change if you want to center it, write, justify, all of those things. Add bullet points, add numbers. This is a way to remove any formatting if you've messed with things a lot and you want to remove it all. You can also undo and redo right there. So that menu bar pops up as soon as I click the text. See, click the text and I get the menu bar again. I might want to add in a slideshow of some images. You just drag it in like that, and you can choose what type of slideshow that you want to do. Once you press continue, you'll be able to just upload any images from your computer and make a slideshow like that. Another thing you might want to add is some media here. So you're probably going to just use this YouTube option right there, and then you can put in any YouTube video that you want to add. In order to do that, you drag it in like I just did, then you click here, and that will allow you to edit the video that you're putting in. Once I paste in the video, just click anywhere and you'll see that your video should load. So again, to do that, all I did was I clicked on the box where my YouTube video was, one single click. I pasted the URL right there, and then I just clicked somewhere else on the screen and my video loaded, just like that. The items that have stars like this are premium features. We only are using the free one, so you won't be able to use that. There's other layout features, so if I wanted to add text in over on the side, just drag it over on the side and you'll see that it splits my screen into 2 columns. If I wanted to undo that, I meant to do it below. You literally just drag and drop these things around, so I can drag it underneath, and now I can see that it's one below the other. So again, drag and drop, play around. These things should be pretty self-explanatory. Another thing that I want to explain is the design of your page. So you can change the theme, as I said. You can go back and change the theme if you don't like the theme that you had created. I may also just want to change this header image. For instance, this was the default. I definitely didn't want that. I just click on Edit Image, and that's where I can just choose to upload an image directly if there's one that relates really well to your Megacity project. I have some more customization. If I click on this little gear icon here, I can choose the page layout that I want. So perhaps I didn't want this humongous bar at the top and I just wanted a short header. So I can click on that and it changes the layout. At any time that I want to change it, I can go back, and it was a landing page originally. So I'm going to go back there. This button right here is there by default. You would use that to link somebody to another website or URL. So again, to do that, all I did was I clicked on where it says button text. I can go ahead and play with some of the sizing, and then I can just type in a URL that I wanted it to link to. Obviously, you don't want it to be Google. And then when I'm done with that, it would show up there. Another thing that you're going to need to know how to do is pages. By default, what you'll see is the home page, the about page, and the contact page. So we're going to have to change this a little bit for this project. So as we talked about on the home page before, you can change the layout. We talked about that on the other screen by clicking on the little gear icon, but you can also just go to pages and you can choose a different layout from there. Leave your home screen as is, but we don't want an about page. Instead, for our second page, we want to call it demographics for this project. So go ahead and just type it in there. Your next page will be the economy. You might want to have a short header for this one, no header at all for this one. You can change it, and you can also always go back here and change it in the future. You need to add another page, just add a standard page. Internal systems and structures is the next one. Your next page will be external influences. And your final standard page is going to be bibliography and process paper. If for some reason you had put these in the wrong order, you can just drag and drop to change the order. This is a subpage of demographics. We're not going to do any of that, so just make sure that they're all lined up over there on the left. And drag and drop is kind of the theme of this website builder. That's one of the beauties of Weebly. When you're done with that, make sure that you save and edit. That will bring you back to your main site, and you'll see that we have the pages that we just set up here. Depending on your theme and depending on how big your window is right now, you might have to click on more to get to all of your pages. Why don't we go ahead and go to this bibliography and process paper, because for that we're going to need to put our final paper once we're done with the whole project. So here is that page right here, and the easiest way to probably add a paper is just to go down here to a doc file. So that would be a way to add a Word document. So you just drag it in and you literally click where it says click here to upload file, and you would just upload your file right there. So that's probably the easiest way to do that. Let me just go back to my home page once more. When you are done, oh, and one thing that I forgot to mention, this button text here, to change what it says, you just click on it, highlight it, and you literally type here, okay? Anyway, when you're done with your project, or at any point that you just want to see what your project actually looks like, you need to publish it. And this is an important step before you finish and turn in your project. Your teacher's not going to be able to see your project unless you actually publish it. So at some point, you might want to just press publish, and that will take your site and make it live. Once you are all complete with your project, make sure that you publish it again. It's kind of like pressing the save button. So when I click on that, I can actually see what my site would look like without it being kind of in editor mode where, you know, some of the things would move around and stuff like that. So that's basically it. I hope that this helped.